We need to understand matter. We need to understand matter. And to understand matter in modern stream of study, we go for physics, we go for chemistry, which is not sufficient enough now. It seems like we are heading towards quantum physics to understand the matter furthermore to its deepest possible layer. We need to understand plants. In modern stream of study, to study plants and also to study animals, here comes biology. So I would say anytime you go and study physics, you're studying yoga without even knowing it. Because ultimately, anytime you go for the practice of understanding, that is the practice of. Did you remember? There was a form of yoga I went on discussing with understanding. So perfection in action, karma yoga. Effortlessness, bhakti yoga. Understanding, jnana yoga. So anytime you go and understand anything, that means you're practicing yoga. Fourth, humans. It looks like the study of physics, chemistry and biology is not sufficient enough. We need to study psychology. So these are the four things, and they make existence. So is there a fifth thing you can add to this kitty? Because it looks like existence is too big, but we went on reducing it to only four things. So is there a possibility for you to add fifth thing to the list? Spirituality is on the board right now. Psychology. Part of human. Philosophy is also part of human. Part of human. Consciousness, not just outside of the mind, at the same time inside the mind. Anytime you need to study consciousness, that means you need to study what? Human. You study human. Without studying consciousness, the study of human is not complete. Without studying consciousness, the study of human is not complete. So to study human, you need to study consciousness. Or to study consciousness, you need to study human. They go together. Where to study consciousness? And who's interested in studying consciousness? Humans are interested in studying consciousness, and the only place to study consciousness is this walking laboratory. Okay, so leave the human for some amount of time. If you're really interested in studying consciousness, study matter. No, it's not arising. Yesterday, if you remember, I said consciousness, energy and matter, they stay together. Existence equals to coexistence. And it looks like I'm challenging the theory of Big Bang, because according to my idea, Big Bang has never happened. It was, it is, and it's going to be. So consciousness, energy and yesterday when I wrote down that aerobic respiration chart, I said you break down one glucose molecule with the help of 6 oxygen molecule, an outcome of that, equal atoms, other side, from where the energy comes. It looks like we got the energy out of matter, but we haven't consumed anything. All the atoms exactly other side. So matter, consciousness and energy exist together. So anytime you need to study consciousness, study one thing out of it. If you understand matter completely, you can understand consciousness. If you understand plants completely, you can understand consciousness or any other thing. Because everything is matter, everything is energy, and everything is consciousness. E equals to mc square. At the same time equals to C. So C equals to E equals to mc square. But again, it's not that once upon a time energy came out of consciousness or matter came out of energy. No, they stay together. But what is spirituality? Because you said spirituality is missing. Spirituality is all about the interaction of these four things with each other. What is spirituality? Interaction of these four things against or with each other. So matter interacts with plant and plant interacts with matter. What sorts of interaction they are having? I would say complementary. Matter helps plant and plant helps matter. Plants and animal, complementary. Animals and matter, complementary. But when it comes to human, I have a question mark about the complementary life. We are nicely sitting at the receiving end because without this, life is not possible. But when it comes to complement back, there is a question mark here, there is a question mark here, and there is a question mark here. And I'm speaking this way because it seems like there is a big issue which we do talk a lot, and we call it global warming. Some people say it's not happening, but some other they have big pictures that the glaciers were kilometers, but now they're becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. The temperature was less, it's increasing. So there are many things happening. We just have the questions, not the answers, not the conclusion. But it looks like if it is happening, it's happening only due to this particular unit called human. But I think this is just the half story, because global warming is not a problem for me or for us. Bigger problem than global warming is actually when the human starts interacting with other humans. A particular unit, which we know as human, lives in a family. Family, that means a group of human that lives in a society. Society flourish under a system. Just because the tendency of a human is to receive only and not to give it back, what happens between human and the family? We know many people, they're complaining about that their family is not good. And then the family is complaining about that particular unit, it's not good for the family. So it seems like both ways there is question mark. So family is complaining about that particular person, and that particular person is complaining about family. Then family starts complaining about the society. Society starts complaining about the family. Society also complains about that particular person, and person complains about society. Then we start blaming the system. President is not good, Prime Minister is not good, politicians are not good, bureaucrats are not good, corporates are not good, nobody is good. I would say spirituality is missing, because spirituality looks only this much. So in simple words, anytime you want to talk about spirituality, it's complementary lifestyle. And we are not finding it easy to complement other things around us. And I said yesterday that yoga is all about 100% selfishness, and it looks like in this case 100% selfishness is missing. And in which way? Because it looks like we have only understood ourselves this much. We have understood ourselves only this much. We need to expand our identity from this much to this much. So understanding is not an option for me. Understanding is a prerequisite for me to live like a human being. Because then only I can have a complementary life with all the things around me. And a complementary life where I start supporting not only nature but also the other human being is spirituality. And for that, if you need to understand matter, please go and understand matter. And to do so, if you need to understand energy, please go and understand energy. And to do so, if you need to understand consciousness, please go and do so. So whatever is needed for you to do this, just go and do that thing. Because this side, as I've said, is bigger than this. And this side, I say, this is something, if this happens, leads to family, warming. Everything, like if you go and study matter, there is a boiling point. Different forms of matter, you put a specific amount of heat, it starts melting. It looks like our relationship, they have reached to a state of boiling. We are not having one person in our life to whom we can say, okay, this is the person and I have no conflict, no complaint. We are making a lot of compromises in our relationship and hoping to be peaceful on top. It's not going to happen. And if I'm not experiencing peace in my relationship with other human beings, I'm the one heavily involved in destroying nature. Because a peaceful scientist goes to the laboratory, creates some peaceful things. But a person having headache and problems in relationship goes to the laboratory and makes what? Weapons of mass destruction. I'll make a big bomb. Because if I'm not happy, how come it's possible that these people are happy and smiling around me? So only an unhappy person goes to the laboratory and creates weapons. Otherwise, a peaceful scientist will never create those weapons. Will create a society which need no weapon. Because weapons cannot ensure peace. They can just hold it for some amount of time. So it looks like everything is available with this particular unit. If I need to study matter, there is matter. If I need to study energy, this is there. If I need to study consciousness, this is also here. So that means if I need to understand existence, where do I need to go? To myself. So anytime we say like study of the self, that means study of the existence.